Welcome to another episode of the DII Nation Podcast. I'm your co-host, Wayne Cavadi, and before I introduce the best co-host in D2 sports, allow me another shameless plug. Last week, I told you my D2 men's basketball Power 10 rankings were dropping, and this week, my first D2 women's Power 10 basketball rankings will drop on NCAA.com. And a little spoiler, one of Bethany's own MIAA schools will be at the top. So I'm sure the great and legendary Bethany Bowman will be happy to hear that. Welcome back, Bethany.
Thanks, Wayne. Thanks for having me again. Good to be back and excited to have special guests here today. But keep your focus. We're still in football, but I'll allow you the plug for the basketball rankings. Football season, though, what a wild one it's turning out to be. Last week's guest, Tyson Bagent, wound up throwing another game winner in the final seconds to move the Shepherd Rams into the semifinals. And this week's guest engineered 4 drives, ending in touchdown passes as quarterback for the Colorado School of Mines, advancing the Orediggers to the first semifinals in program history. Joining us today is John Matocha. Welcome to the DII Nation, John.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great story. We got history in the making. The Orediggers' first trip to the national semifinals. But before we get to last week's impressive performance and what lies ahead, we always like to give our listeners a little bit of behind the scenes of how you got here. Looking into your high school history, it speaks for itself, right? You're a 2-time district MVP. You had 4,200 yards and 53 touchdowns as a senior combined, but you were in Texas. How did you wind up in Colorado?
Honestly, I kind of took a leap of faith. My family always preached a good education. And honestly, it's pretty hard to beat Mines in that aspect. So basically education and football, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. Did you have, Texas is obviously a huge football state. Were there a lot of calls? Yeah. Was there a big decision that you had to make?
It was definitely a big decision. I had a few other places I was looking at, a few other football opportunities as well. The biggest obstacle for me was leaving my family behind in Texas, but they come and visit me all the time, so it makes up for it.
Yeah, I would suppose seeing the backdrops and skylines of the football field in Colorado probably made it a little bit easier decision for you.
Oh, definitely. It's hard to beat Golden, Colorado. I'll tell you that. It's beautiful.
Now, the Mines offense is notorious for putting up yards and points. You come in as a freshman, total 3,400 yards and 40 touchdowns on the way to RMAC Freshman of the Year honors. And then 2020 happened. How did you and the team keep yourself occupied and ready for the 2021 season during that long off year?
It was definitely pretty frustrating coming off that year, not only because of the success that we had, but also because of the failure. Ending on that loss and getting hurt in the last play of the game. I think everybody was pretty bummed not to get out on the field and start playing again. But I think it was beneficial. I think that Mines as a whole program handled it very well. I think that it gave us some time, especially me as a younger quarterback or previously younger quarterback, to get back in the playbook, learn all the concepts, learn all the reads, and really dig deep into that offensively and defensively. So like I said, I think it actually benefited us, and now it's we're reaping our rewards.
Yeah, and you got to bring back a lot of this people. So that
exactly.
Time definitely could have helped. So let's turn to you a little bit here. You're listed at 5'11", which of course, if you're a quarterback, that's the dreaded height. You got to be over 6 to get the job done, right? You make it. What stands out to me is how incredibly efficient you are, right? You're finished second in D2 in completion percentage in both of your years playing, and you're one of the highest rated efficiency rate quarterbacks in D2, and you can run, and you're like a whole nother threat from that aspect. Kind of just take us through what it's like to be John Matocha as a quarterback. Are you looking for that seam, or do you like to drop back and pass? What is your favorite way to play football?
That's a good one. First off, I got to, of course, shout out my O-line and my wide receivers for getting open and protecting me and giving me time, giving me targets to throw to, and obviously Mike Zeman. But honestly, I'm thinking touchdown every play. I think that high completion percentage that you pointed out is because I can scramble a little bit. When something's not there, I'm not afraid to take off and run. I'm not afraid to try and make something happen. And I think that helps. I do hate throwing incompletions. Nothing makes me more mad than throwing an incompletion or seeing that stat go down. So I'm definitely, I feel pretty comfortable doing both. I'm definitely working on becoming more of a pocket passer because we got such threatening guys on the outside, and our line is definitely good enough to hold up. So I'm kind of working on pocket passer, but I also am never going to be afraid to scramble, go take a hit or deliver a hit. Kind of love that kind of aspect of the game. I feel like as a quarterback, kind of miss out on all that. You know, I don't really get to lower my shoulder much. So anytime I get a chance, I might take it.
Yeah, you might have to do that this weekend. So I know you're looking forward to that.
You already mentioned Mike Zeman. Last year, you were a Harlon Hill nominee. This year, it is the guy behind you. What does having a monster back like him bring not only to the offense, but to your game as well?
I mean, Michael Zeman is the man. He is one of the toughest guys that I know. And honestly, as a whole team, seeing him go out and do what he does best, putting his head down, getting those few extra yards every single snap, it makes everybody play better. It makes me want to go to get in there, you know? I think he's a big inspiration for the team on and off the field. He's a great leader. He kind of keeps our offense rolling, and it's pretty evident throughout the year. And I'm just glad that he's getting the recognition that he deserves.
Yeah, and the thing that's really impressive is that the day he had against Angelo State, right, which is one of the best rush defenses in the nation, and then you go out and you're throwing for 4 touchdowns, you know, and you had that nice little screen to him that kind of put the game away for good, you know, the 40-yard screen. What was the secret? How were you able to dissect that Angelo defense when seemingly nobody else this year had?
Yeah, like you said, Angelo is a great team, great defense. We knew that going in, but so is everyone else that we're going to be playing from now on. And so really our motto and our aspect is win the surest way. We talk about it every week. It's kind of a team thing that we have. And it's all about playing team football, sticking together, fighting through adversity, and playing minds football is what it's all about. We felt pretty confident about our physicality up front, our physicality on the perimeter, with some of the best blocking wide receivers in the nation. And it's really shown. That's what reason Zeman can pop a lot of his runs. And of course, the guys up front doing their job. And from working from that, we're able to spring big plays. And like you said, that little pitch pass to Zeman when he goes and makes something happen. I mean, kind of like, I think that's one of his Harlem moments, you know. And he's always doing stuff like that, and we're always working together. So
I think your answer there leads in very well to this next question, because you talked about family, sticking together, being a brotherhood. I really felt that, I guess not the brotherhood part, maybe the sisterhood part, when I was a D2 student athlete. So what makes it special to you to be there out of Division II, and what sticks out to you just about the special moments that you get as a D2 athlete?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the people that I'm around, the people that I get to interact with, the people I get to meet, the people I get to play with every day. Obviously, it's pretty selfish, but I think that Mines has some of the best guys in the nation. I mean, I wouldn't want to play or be with anybody else. I think the Mines in particular really, we really have that bond and really have that brotherhood that you talk about, because we're not only fighting on the field, but we're also struggling up in classrooms too. We're getting together after practice. We're really learning and struggling together.
I have to ask, what's your major?
Computer science.
Of course, it's not something easy.
Yeah. Well, technically, I like to say, technically, I'm not an engineer. I'm a scientist, but you know, who knows?
Yeah. Well, either way, if you're going there, it's like you said, I'm sure that you have that fight off the field just in the classes is just as hard. And you know, that's part about being a D2 student athlete, is that you really put the student in there. Okay.
You didn't have to, make me feel bad on Tuesday night. I was a communications major, so we know who the smartest guy on this call is tonight.
I was an English major. I read books and wrote stories. Come on, you're definitely the smartest guy in this call. Well, speaking of smart, you made it through the easy part of the show, but now it comes the hard part, and it's called the D2 Nation Hot Seat. There's no need to build the suspense. John, are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes, sir.
All right, Bethany, let's go.
Okay, we'll start off easy. Hopefully you can get this one. What's in your headphones pregame to get you pumped up for a game?
Ooh. I mean, honestly, I usually don't have headphones. I usually like to talk to the guys and usually just listen to whatever's playing over the speakers in the locker room. I'm not a big headphone guy. I like to kind of be in the moment, you know?
Yeah. Well, what's usually going on in the locker room? Right? Is there like a group song that everyone always, or artist maybe that always is pumping out?
I guess our walkout song is the John Cena one. I guess that may count. that's our little walkout song, you know. But other than that, it's kind of a mix of rap, you know, the usual locker room stuff.
Yeah, I hear you. Growing up, who is your favorite football, or maybe still your favorite football team and favorite football player?
I'm gonna go with, actually, I guess it's hard to. I'm gonna go with college for this one. I'm biggest UT fan growing up. UT and Cowboys. Favorite player has got to be Vince Young. I grew up watching him win the national championship, and it's kind of what obviously he's a little more athletic than me, but kind of what I aspire to be, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see you modeling your game after him, the complete package, you know, he was able to do everything for sure.
What is the best football movie of all time?
Oh, I got it. My personal favorite, probably Blindside. Blindside, definitely. I've probably seen that one 1,000 times, and I could watch it again tonight.
Very nice. I don't think that one's been said yet. Usually people go Remember the Titans, I feel like is
see that would be a good one too. It's got to be one of the, I've honestly seen them both about 1,000 times. That was always our car movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's my pick, but I did go watch Brian's song the other night, Wayne, because we've had a couple coaches pick that one. I was crying like a baby.
Yeah, and that's an older football movie. If you don't know it, it's like a classic football movie, but you will cry. It doesn't matter how strong and how tough you think you are, you're gonna cry.
I'll have to add it to the list.
What is do you have any superstitions you have pregame?
Ooh. I don't have any, none in particular, but Mike Zeman, the running back, he always has one where I have to throw to him in a certain way. So I always do that. So it kind of counts for both of us. It's been working. So
Right. Don't stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's your favorite social media platform? And do you have a page, account, personality that you are, really into, really addicted to watching?
I'm actually not on that much social media. I really don't have Instagram or Twitter or anything much like that. I do use YouTube. Does that count? I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you use?
Snapchat?
Snapchat. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Those are, I guess, the two ones I use, I guess.
Like when you say YouTube, like you're getting on just like watching videos, or what does that mean?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, just watching videos, just something random. I feel like I click on, I watch something random every day. I watched a video about terraforming this morning. I don't know.
Well, good. You can watch yourself tomorrow because this is on YouTube tonight.
Perfect. That's why it's my favorite.
There you go. If you had a time machine, what part of history would you travel to?
Can I go to the future?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Sure.
I think I'd definitely go to the future, just because being a computer scientist, being in an engineering school, there's a lot of breakthroughs and things that are right on the edge. I think I'd like to see the fruition of all of that,
See, that's how you know he's the smart guy. He took it to a level I didn't even
think of. All right.
I just want to see all the technology in the future. I get excited about that kind of stuff.
I bet.
Well, I'm more excited about this question. What is one food that you refuse to share, even on a date?
Ooh. One food. Oh. Probably steak and potatoes. I mean, that's kind of what I grew up eating, and I don't get it as much anymore now that I know my mama's cooking. So anytime I get steak and potatoes or any kind of mean potatoes in Colorado, I'm eating it. It's mine. It's mine. Coach told me I got to put on some weight too, so can't be sharing any food anymore.
There you go. Well, congratulations. You made it through the hot seat. That was fun. You did well right there. John, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, Beth and I are excited to be watching you this Saturday, and we wish you the best of luck. And thank you again for taking the time to join us.
No, like I said before, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And DII Nation, don't you forget, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and you could join John watching us on YouTube and just about anywhere else you want to listen. So give us a follow, and we'll see you next week on the DII Nation.